Alright guys, Jeff Raymond had requested back when I was doing the hydraulics on here for an overview of it, and we got it all washed up and everything, so I figured I'd go ahead and do that. But I gotta just start with the engine here. 3208 cat V8, 636 cubic inch. Originally rated at 210 horse, naturally aspirated from the factory. Put out 180 PTO. They were kind of doggy with that, so went ahead and when Dad got this in '94, had the turbo motor put in it, and that takes her up 250 engine, so that'd give you about 220, about a 30 horse drop on these tractors from the flywheel to the PTO, just to run, the hydraulics and, the accessories on the engine and everything. But yeah, put the turbo motor in it, helped out quite a bit, and when they did that, they put a heavy duty over under in this one. Out of like a 195, and got a little heavier direct drive clutch pack, I think, in it is what the difference is. You got to do that. You got to change the air cleaner, and I think you got to cut a different hole in the hood for the exhaust pipe, but it's not too much of a problem. I think it ran 3150 wide open, or 3100 wide open, when with the naturally aspirated engine. Put the turbo motor in it to actually lower the RPMs down to 2800, and 2600 is a rated, and it probably helps improve life a little bit on it. Turbo motor's got a bigger oil cooler on it. Yeah. Let's see. What else here? So something, if you guys ever own one of these tractors here, we've moved that starter solenoid back to there. It used to be out, I want to say it was right here in one of these holes, but the thing vibrates, it vibrates quite a bit, and it always breaking them solenoids, so we moved it back there and never had trouble since. Let's kind of see up, I don't know if you can see up in there, the aspirator on the turbo. It's a crushed piece of exhaust pipe, or, well, let me see if I can get it. Kind of hard to explain here, see if we can get that's what it looks like there. Now you'd probably say, well, that's going to hurt horsepower, but it doesn't. I don't know why, but they just don't. When the air speeds up, go through here, it creates a suction on there, or creates a vacuum right here because it speeds up, and it'll actually suck dirt and bigger chunks of dust out of the air cleaner, or as it's coming in, really makes the life of the filter a lot longer. These tractors got an inboard planetary axle in them, or inboard planetary, meaning not like the Versatile where we got the outboard planetary and the tires bolt right onto that. That's all inside this housing right here. Got all this planetary gear. It still has all that, but it's just inside, and they put the axle, and that all bolts to the axle then, and they run the axle out so you can have adjustment on row widths and everything. We got it set up on 30 inch centers right now. It's a really handy tractor to have. You can run down 30-inch rows. You can do side dress with it. You can plant with it. It's got enough power and everything. You can chisel. Just a really versatile tractor. It's got, I think that's a 100-gallon fuel tank under the hood there. It's got, and then Dad actually made this fuel tank. That's about another 125 gallons, so we can go for about 2 days on fuel when we fill it up. Yeah, it runs hydraulic out of common reservoir between the front and rear axle housings for hydraulics. Transmission's up here in the front, and it's just got the regular differential back here. So that was that dipstick, but you can't really trust that one too much because there's a transfer pump in there, and it just kind of depends on where it's at as far as moving oil between the two housings. Dual steering cylinders, got the top shaft. There's a live shaft, second for the PTO, the bottom and lube pump and hydraulic pump. Bottom ones just go straight back from that ring and pinion back this ring and pinion. This is a little different over the 4180s because they took a the articulation joint and flipped it over. So the bottom's on the top and top's on the bottom. I suppose it wears a lot better. I've never really even looked that close at a 4180 to see what's different, but that's what I've heard anyways. 18-438 tires on it, Firestone radials. Got a big 1000 PTO shaft in it. Got a 3-point. We've got a quick hitch for it too, a white quick hitch, but we don't use it a whole lot because it just clutters things up right here. It's so big, you can't really get in hook hydraulics up, and we don't use it that much other than on the side dress bar. And we actually just use these because Dad's got the other one. When he painted the tractor, he painted the quick hitch. He didn't want to get it all banged up and everything, so that's what we do. You see we do plant corn here because we got the 2020 monitor right there. Lights on the tractor are pretty good. We've changed these out and put these halogens on. These just have the old round ones. But it does alright. Lighting up the night sky with it. Well, let's hop up in the cab here and you can see we got the new cab kit in here. I said something about that. It looks really nice. Turned out real well. That other cab kit was the second cab kit, and it outlasted the first cab kit. And so if this one will get us another 20 years, is that right? 21 years. I think we'll be doing all right. Alright, you can see you got your instrument panel here, engine RPM, lamp test, but PTO, and then there's ground speed, oil pressure, water temp, battery voltage, and the fuel, and exhaust temp. The exhaust temp's not hooked up because the sensors would go bad, and they're like $300 or $400 from white, I think, so we just left it out. You got your diff lock. They only lock the front differential for some reason. I wish they locked the rear one too, but it still helps out quite a bit. But you don't ever get it to where this thing spins. White did a good job of weighting this thing up, or having built-in weight to where it's pretty even pull, and it does a pretty good job in spinning all 4 or all 8 tires at one time. Got throttle over under. And then the gear shift here, got the lower range up, got park right there. Then you got the lower range and then the upper range. 3 remotes, PTO, 3-point. And that's just your climate controls there. That's for I think that's for the planter monitor. We don't need the 3000 monitor because we got the 2020 now. That's for the starter right there. put that on, and then anhydrous, which I don't think we're going to put anhydrous on this year. We had a change of plans, but I'll explain that in a later video. Can't remember where he mounted that at. But anyways, that starter, and there's the 2020 foot planter, and that put an iPad up there because that goes with this. But you just get the clutch and the brake. I think that's pretty much it. It's a nice driving tractor. Yeah, I think that'll about do it. Thanks for requesting the video, Jeff Raymond, and thanks to everybody else who's watching. And we will see what else comes up. Hopefully, we had a bit of rain yesterday, but that's just the way it is. So we'll see you guys later.